Hello, hello, and welcome to Hot Springs Island and such. Let's join the chat. Greetings.
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 Alrighty, we did a quick speed run rush, running to the very top of, well, top-ish to the tower, and nothing's attacked you guys here. A nice, chill, relaxed little session. So the floor is indeed yours. The last thing you guys did was get the little seed pod and the stick that turns into a snake. So Robbie now has the ability to stick snake. I reminded her of the companion tab.
There's a companion tab?
Indeed, for summoning things.
Which reminds me, did you want the snack?
No, I already have a... What does a snake even do? Did we find that out?
Yes, it's basically, it can be a group snake. It's basically stick to snake, but not that version. It's a different version. So she has the creature. It will summon a Hot Springs Island equivalent boa constrictor.
I can't remember. Can he fight or is he just not, just does he not die?
So he can fight. The semi-difference between, long story short, if you want to summon him, throw the stick out, he will be snake. If you want him just to be snake, he can just be snake, and he can follow you around. I won't make a token for him. You can if you want. But if you want to say, Snake Boy is following me, he's literally a wooden snake with, like, flowers on him and such. Reading the stats, it does say you need to feed him and treat him like a plant, because he is indeed a plant. So preferably keep him away from fire, keep him away from, I don't know, vines that are trying to suck all the moisture out of him, things of that nature.
Makes sense.
I'm going to have him stowed away for now.
That's fine. Yeah. So there's no mechanical benefit, bane, boon, anything to going from
talk,
stick.
Right?
No, he cannot talk. He's just
I thought he could talk.
No, he can understand you though. He can very much understand you.
Okay.
Yes, so he can nod and he can shake his head. So he is a snake. He's a small snake. So if you guys want to send him somewhere, he can wiggle through something, look at it, and come back, and then you can say, "Is there a bomb in there?" He can go, "Uh huh." So you can use him for that. And if he dies, he just turns back to a stick. That's it. Doesn't corrupt or anything. He'll just goes back to stick form.
How far away is Daniel at this point?
Daniel will be here relatively soon. He's one hex over. Basically, I'd say the next major thing you guys decide to look at, because every time you guys look at a room, it takes anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes or so, I'd say. It's currently 4 p.m.
I'd basically like to make like a bird eye view of this place because it's outside, right? Or was it not?
Okay, so this, specifically the conservatory, this one here, is blocked off. There's no windows, to my knowledge, and there's no broken open zones, although the other areas are, very much so. There's a random window or like a wall broke, something of that nature. This one's closed off, though.
No way for him to get in here anyway, then.
Not this room, but instantly down one floor, there's plenty of windows.
Yeah.
He knows where y'all, well, he will know where you are relatively soon, so.
I mean, once he is in like 100 meters, I get telepathy anyway, so.
Yep, I'll let you know, no worries. As mentioned, he went to Bavmorda, and he went to both camps to let them know, so he's done with his mission, he's on the way.
Back down we go, I guess.
There are those creatures there, and one of them was about to follow me through the door. I mean, obviously it didn't follow me through the door, but it was following me, so yes. I think we should make a real quick plan about which door to go through and run there.
Did you want to go to the side or immediately back through the portal?
No, there's a lot of doors. I want to go past the doors. So, okay, the one that was following me would have been on the right side, so let's just dash left.
So yeah, you have the two of you going through the portal at the same time?
I guess, if we're all going to the thing.
Preferably.
All right,
So
you guys
go to the same time with Mad Dash.
Sure. The two of you hop through, are instantly transported back to the third floor, and you can see the 4 guardians kind of just doing their thing, waiting for someone to approach their table. They don't seem to notice you immediately.
Are you sure they didn't just want your, I don't know, offer you a drink or something?
Maybe, but let's not risk it. It gave me bad vibes.
I mean, these are bars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe just being nice, patrons saying hello.
We'll try that on the way back.
Sure.
Dash away.
Dash.
All right, are you guys legit running to the store?
Fast walking.
Power jogging?
Basically,
Yes.
I guess.
Excellent.
Without making any eye contact whatsoever.
I am gonna glance at them just to see what they're doing.
They seem to be essentially waiting and resting, seemingly waiting for a customer or someone to approach them. As you guys kind of phase on through, they twitch for a moment, and they don't look directly at your group. They kind of glaze over. It's difficult to tell like where their eyes would possibly be. They are basically piloting their orange goo, as a reminder, effectively piloting a broken up statue of an elf and dwarf, etc., etc. But there's multiple body parts. Some have 3 arms, some have 2 heads. They're interesting to look at.
Close the door behind us.
Good idea.
Okay, as you guys leave to the external circular rooms, You quickly slink into one. You don't see any of the guardians do anything. Close the door behind you. Wait just a moment and hear nothing approaching from behind. You were seemingly safe. The external wall leading outwards seems to be a magical floor to ceiling wall of force, meaning all of you can see the jungle, the island, any ruins or anything that would be in the distance, but you know for a fact that you wouldn't be able to fall out. So it's effectively like a window, but a massive window. Fairly easy to see, and you guys are indeed on the 3rd floor. You guys can see not the volcano from here, that would be on the other side, but you guys are currently seeing out into the island. If you squint, you could actually possibly see the ruined city from here as well.
I will squint.
Were we able to see this from the outside as well? Like these indents?
On the outside, it looked just like flat tower, interestingly. So it must be illusion on the outside to look flat.
It's a one-way mirror.
Indeed. And upon shambling about and whatnot, you can see various beds and cotton tents just kind of, line the walls. Some are kicked off to the side. It looks as if maybe, a group of people woke up in a hurry. But this just looks like a sleeping quarters, maybe? Remember that this place is very lavish. The outside is like a black carpet with like constellations running through said carpet in a silver pattern.
Fancy.
Yes, all these rooms, while they look somewhat dilapidated, it's just due to time. These were once very, very nice, like high-end shit.
Did they leave anything behind that we can take?
As you guys look around, you find various devices and such. Nestled into one of the beds, we'll say, you find this pipe-looking thing. It looks as if you could possibly stuff something into one end of it, light it, and smoke. You see 2 of them. One is broken, one is seemingly intact.
Yes, a boof pipe.
So, Lekka, do you smoke?
No.
I'll take it and stash it to sell later.
Usually I just sell the stuff, honestly.
Do you want to sell this one? You can if you want.
Nah. I mean,
All right, I'll take it.
like, how old does it look? Like, is it antique worthy or?
I would think it's probably antique, bizarro. What the hell is this worthy?
If a collector knew what it was, yes, it's definitely an antique. And if you could sell it the right way, yeah, you could probably get some money for it.
Sure, it's probably worth something if you find the right person, but does it still look functional?
Not sure. It's definitely rough. It has not aged well.
Yeah, I mean, it is 1,000 years old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely don't use it though.
Not planning on it.
Other than that, this room just seems to be kind of,
Also,
messed
don't
about.
lick it. There might still be traces of Sapopa in it.
Oh, good point.
As he casts prestidigitation on himself again.
No!
Hate your stuff.
I'm never ever taking any more of that again, so please don't die.
Oh, it won't die. It's far worse than that.
Oh my god.
Remember those things downstairs?
Oh,
the
the
slime creatures?
slimes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They probably had way more than you could ever have, though.
Yeah. I mean, my fingers haven't started going black yet, so,
That is a good point.
I can probably still live a full kobold life.
Sad face. All right, through the door.
It's fine. I'll just get like 9th level spells and wish myself healed.
Are you gonna be able to live that long?
Kobolds live pretty old.
Oh god. I'm already 200 and I'm still what, level 5? All right, I'm gonna peek the door.
It's fine. I'll talk to them. You just go through the portal, I guess.
I'm gonna run to the door north.
Once again, going quickly.
Yes.
This
I'm
time,
I'm gonna walk up to this individual.
okay, are you going to walk up first and then let Sarabi go after?
Basically, I mean, distracting from her, I guess.
I'm gonna hesitate in front of the door.
Watching Lekka or...
Yeah, to make sure he's okay.
I mean, if things go awry, you'll hear me screaming and I'll jump through the portal.
I guess that's fair.
As he approaches the Guardian, it turns to you. You can hear the stones residing within its body scraping and crackling against themselves as the ooze shifts to face you, Lekka. It does so slowly, without any malice, and currently is not looking towards you, Sarabi, just Lekka. The other ones slightly shift as to look towards his direction. The ones to the south, though, seem less interested. So as you crack the door open and move on in, Sarabi, they don't really seem to notice you, but they're looking at him, and once again, they don't really seem to mean you any violence. It is absolutely massive, though, and the being looks down to you, Lekka. Initially, no response. Just looking at you.
I'm just giving my best poker face and go like, so, what's on tap tonight?
The being leans down. Its neck sort of extends so the face can get closer to you. And almost as if it's like searching for the right words to say, it's kind of like mealy mouth, just like I, what would please you?
Bit rusty in the language department, huh?
I mean, they haven't been working for 1,000 years, you know.
Sad face.
Like, Lekka's gonna think, like, what's something that they probably drank 1,000 years ago? Knowing they're elves, probably something fruity. Malt wine.
All right. The figure nods to you, and the tendrils kind of whip off and grab onto various bottles. You can hear them kind of clinking against each other, the hands very shakily trying not to break anything, and it indeed places a closed bottle on the table in front of you. Another hand whips out, and this time with a little more tact, grabs onto a wine glass and sets it onto the table and says, "Would this suffice?"
Is it legible? Like, the wine, or is like the paper that explains what it is?
The label is...
that thing.
It is indeed aged, but as we, indeed know, well, let's say, wine only ages up to it only ages us to a certain degree, and this is not a controlled environment. So I guess to quickly, both of you would know that elves and dwarves, because they live for so long, anything they want to last long, aka books and things of that nature, because they live so long, their books don't tend to deteriorate because they don't need them to last 20, 30 years. They need them to last hundreds of years. Unfortunately, this wine is not so fortunate. So the label is scratched and just faded completely. You can't tell. Looking at the bottle, though, you can see that all the silt has sort of floated to the bottom, and some of it's kind of floating around in the drink. It's definitely not good.
The greeter in the front did say it was all on the house, right?
Yeah.
It was all inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, not to be rude and, I don't know, potentially break this thing. Like, I'll just take a glass, I guess. Yes, well, fine.
Most excellent. Please let us know if you'll need anything else. And as you say that, it kind of places out one of the stone hands, using its goo body to tilt its hand. Like, it has so every stone piece obviously is stone, so they're completely rigid and cannot move. So it uses the goo wrist effectively to kind of centrally run its finger along your hand, and the head kind of tilts towards you. So Robbie, you sense awkward flirting to the north.
Oh my.
All right. Thank you, and I'll take the glass and and the wine and I don't know, slowly back up and wink and run the hell away.
All right, he gives you a very flirty wave as you walk away.
Put my back against the wall, breathing heavily. I don't know what the hell that was, but that was not normal.
You didn't scream though, so it can't be that bad.
It tried to flirt with me.
I mean, they have been alone for 1,000 years.
Are they even alive?
That is a really good question.
Like, was the goo of the same substance as the things downstairs?
It looked very similar, yes.
I mean, I guess it was probably once upon a time an elf.
Looking
still incredibly awkward.
Then why didn't they transform like the rest?
I mean, they were half elf. The rest is stone statues and stuff like that.
That's weird.
I don't know. And honestly, I don't want to know.
I'm not sure I do either.
I'll hold out the wine. I got some wine, though. Don't think it's any good, but
Oh, that is way expired, please. I don't even need to look at it.
Gazing upon this room, though, so Robbie, you had a few seconds to kind of take it in, as per usual. You got your big window across the way, but this room is adorned with hundreds, possibly thousands, of dangling flowers, or what were once flowers, that are dangling from the ceiling. They are not live. A lot of them are glass, stone. Some are hanging via 2 to 3 strings or chains or something, but they've cracked. Some are dangling on the floor. Some have fallen completely and shattered. But this room did indeed once look nice. There are various areas for lounging and such. And you see a few more of those smoking utensils. The beds are all kind of pushed up into various corners. Looking through them for an extra second, it looks like there was a struggle in here, and some of the beds here are stained a dark, brown.
That's strange.
That blood.
You kind of take a whiff. It's it's probably old dried blood. Interesting enough, there's no blood anywhere on the floor. It's just in the actual material, the fabric itself.
That means someone cheated on someone and stabbed them while they slept. Ooh.
Yeah, or worse.
Or worse.
Anyway.
Okay, these, you said glass flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Are any of them still intact, and can I remove them from the wall, the ceiling, whatever?
Yeah, you definitely can if you want.
All right. I'm going to pull out my super secret stash box and very gently wrap them up and put them in there.
The chains holding them up obviously, we're not meant to stand the test of time, so they pop off quite easily.
Excellent. I'm sure these will be worth something.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're craftsman high tier, right?
They are crafted quite beautifully.
I'm going to shove this box full of them.
Alrighty. And as you're doing that, Lekka, what are you doing?
I'm just being my kobold self and sniffing literally every corner and crack.
Okay. As you move around and kind of sniff and shift things about, you see that one mattress was thrown into another mattress very haphazardly. There's actually kind of a pile over here now that you're kind of moving them around. It's not just two, it's like 3 or 4. And as you shift and move 2 of them, you can see it's really difficult to tell precisely what it is. It looks like a large hunk of leather that's definitely not the bed, kind of haphazardly hanging out between this pile of sleep equipment.
I poked the leather.
All right, you poke the leather and it doesn't seem to poke back, doesn't move. Seems like it's just kind of wedged on in there. Do you pull it out?
Can I make a shape out of it or something?
So,
Any particular shape if I pull it out?
yes, about 80% of it was shoved into the mattresses, so you couldn't really see what it was. But upon pulling it out, it's very interesting to look at. It looks as if something kind of pulls out with it, like it was shoved into a case that got knocked over. You see this case kind of hanging out. It kind of pulls the two together. And this like leather was rolled into this case. It's very similar to how you would store a scroll or a map of something of that variety. And the case falls to the floor. It doesn't make too loud of a sound. These things aren't really chasing you or anything, so you should be fine. It looks almost like it's like rectangle. It looks sort of like a square, but you're holding it in your hands, like, and you can feel something in it. Like it's almost moving and kind of shifting within your hands ever so slightly. The case itself probably was quite beautiful at one point in time, but it's, time has gotten to it. But the map, it's made of possibly the same materials, has not fallen victim to age and time. It looks as if there's an image of 2 stags that are kind of fighting and they're bucking, and there's a forest behind them. You can see on the top and the bottom of the case that's on the floor, there was like an amber, like a strange translucent maybe wax on the top and the bottom, but it was like hardened and lacquered so it doesn't melt easily. All for looks, of course. As you run your hands over this map, it kind of shifts in your hands and begins to lose this rectangular shape. And you hear kind of like a humming, and it's loud enough that you can hear it, Sarabi.
From the map?
From where Lekka's standing as you're collecting these flowers.
I'll come
Definitely,
over and
actually.
investigate.
As a
I'll
TV,
try to lay it out on the ground so I can look at it better.
yeah. As a TV look at it, it is a very, very vague map of Hot Springs Island, and I do mean incredibly vague. Most of the hot points that we're aware of are not on this map for obvious reasons. The massive volcano in the center is more of a mountain at this point. It's not, huge and, doesn't have all like the runways going down, all the holes in the side. Very, very simple. It's more like a mound. Large mound, big mountain, but not in the way that it currently looks. And it's shifting as it's now free and open to the air. It's originally kind of like a deep brown, green, mossy color. Now that's been exposed, it's beginning to shift like a green and like somewhat of a white as you see these runes dance across the face of this thing. And as it lays there for a second, you can tell it's kind of almost blending in with the floor now. You can see it perfectly, like plain as day. But it looks like if it's trying to chameleon the colors around it.
Well, that's weird.
Is anything on the picture changing?
Seemingly no. There's just 2 stags kind of butting heads to the top of this picture, and then a map of Hot Springs Island near the bottom. But the shape of this thing changed until Lekka put it down. It's still a rectangle, but it's like growing longer in a way, like it's stretching out, and thus somewhat stretching the image.
I guess I'll try to peel it from the floor again, see if I actually can.
Yeah, you can pick it up very easily. After a couple seconds, it begins to kind of fade back into its sort of darkish green color, but you notice where you're holding it, where your hands are, it's starting to turn a little blue. It continues kind of growing, and you're holding it in front of you, and you're realizing this map has like shifted into, well, maybe it wasn't a map, it looks more like a cape or a robe now, actually. And it stops growing. And, damned if you think it, but it's almost exactly your size, Lekka.
Alright, this is weird. Give me 5 minutes to figure out what the hell this is.
What? Put it on. Put it on.
Where's the armholes? I'll whip it around a bit.
Does it have like snaps that'll hook
Is it
through the shoulders?
Cloak or a cape? Is it what?
It seems more of a cloak. there's no snaps to put on, so you're not really sure how it would stay on you.
Does it have a hood at least?
I guess I'll do the Superman thing, put it over my shoulder, see what happens.
Yes.
And as you kind of whip it over your shoulders, very, very gently, it kind of shifts onto your body a bit. And in that space, Sarabi, where there would either be a string or would snap with, a metal clasp or something, there is no metal on this thing whatsoever. Instead, very quickly, but once again, gently, this little plant kind of dances and grows across your neck, closing off one side to the other so that it doesn't fall off.
Does he start to blend into the room?
Are you moving, Lekka, or are you standing still?
I'm currently standing perfectly still.
All right. The longer Lekka stands perfectly still, the more he begins to blend into his surroundings. Not just the cape, but Lekka.
It's a invisibility cloak. Cool.
Oh, help. I'm disappearing. Yeah.
Just move.
I'll move.
All right. The second you move, your chameleonness fades away.
That's actually pretty useful.
How fast does he chameleonize?
To fully chameleon will take about 10 minutes. You need to not move, and it will take the natural colors and surroundings and just kind of meld them to you, Lekka.
All right, so not good in a pinch, but with setup.
Wait. I'm gonna stand still for a bit until fully makes me invisible, and I'm gonna try to very slowly move.
So you do need to be standing somewhere that logically makes sense. So obviously in the middle of the room doesn't work so well.
I'm gonna stand against this wall basically.
Yeah, it's against the wall in the pillow pile. It happens just as fast. It's easier to fool those around you. In the middle of the room, it kind of works the second they move, they can see you. So you're definitely not invisible. If Sarabi were staring directly at you as he transformed, she could see you. If she looked away and looked back, she might not. When I say slowly, I mean slowly move. Very slowly move.
Well, in the middle of a bunch of trees, it'll be hard to notice, right?
Yes, but he'd have to be moving. I'm trying to think of a game we played way back in the day. I guess if you're trying to cheat red light, green light, that's slow.
I mean, it's better than nothing.
Indeed.
If I die again by a massive fireball or fire thing from a salamander or something.
Oh yeah, your unconscious still body will blend right in.
Yes.
That's kind of a bad thing.
It's fine. I'll just be an unconscious rotting corpse.
Oh my god.
Joy. Also,
Wait,
yes.
I'm not thinking that Lekka's worried that he found it in a case. There's probably no rotting corpse on the ground there somewhere.
Nothing was wearing it. Moving around the pillow pile, there are no bodies. You're good.
There's definitely something else going on with this thing, though. Why else would it be a map on it, I guess?
You also feel somewhat empowered, like a crackling running up and down your arms.
Yeah, once we get to somewhere place safe, I'm gonna identify this thing.
Technically, you just need to sit and focus, right? To identify it?
Yeah, I mean, it's 5 minutes for me.
Realistically, you could have done so while you were waiting against the wall, trying to stealth.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you have to sit still for 10 minutes to make it work. So
I'm not sure how long, if I have to sit still at all for a ritual, but
I would say you need to start the ritual and then just kind of sit and focus on it. And realistically, that's what you would have been doing. So yeah, basically this will function. I can probably add an item. So I know you can't wear traditional armor, right? You can just wear light armor, like robes. Okay.
I don't think I have any proficiencies with it at all, though.
Okay. This is essentially a cape. So it functions just like an armor anyone can wear. So you don't need proficiency to wear this. It'll give you +1 AC. And the empowerment you learn, Lekka, is any weather or nature magic, any cantrips, you can add 1d4 to the damage.
Nice.
So anything druidy or storm-like.
That's all of them, basically.
Perfect. You'll have to manually do that, so we can poke that later. But it will
as long as I
indeed do
don't
that.
forget it.
Mm-hmm. Have you added an item to your inventory? Because if you have, I can just throw the information.
I have not.
Okay.
I can add it real quick.
Sure. When you have, let me know, and I will go ahead and throw the item in there. It's called Druidic Robes, if you want to name it that.
Fancy.
I know. All right, besides that, Sarabi, there doesn't really seem to be anything else interesting in here besides the flowers that you acquired.
All right, to the next door.
All right, the next door is dangerously close to the barmaid.
Oh my god, it is.
It's fine. They're nice.
All right, I will casually walk by into the door.
You get within about 20 or so feet of this figure, Sarabi, and it suddenly turns to you and just stares at you.
Hey, I don't need anything. Thanks, though.
Who invited you here?
I've been invited this whole time.
He's a guest, actually.
You begin to move forward and it kind of whips its arm out to stop you from opening the door. It doesn't move, but its arm lashes across.
Duck?
So it's not hitting you. It's stopping the door.
Oh, the door?
Preventing it from opening, yes.
Is this a private door?
All rooms are private and for guests only. Who invited you?
I'm a guest.
The figure turns fully and looks to you, looking you up and down, and you can kind of hear like a scoff.
Oh, is this no girls allowed kind of room?
You're not getting that feeling?
Are you sure? Because they seemed interested in me, not the boys.
You can tell she's judging your looks, Robbie, not the fact that you're female.
Oh, is it because I have tails?
She's definitely looking at, so once again, it doesn't have any eyes, but like its generalness is looking at, yeah, your tails, your ears, kind of all of you.
You furry hater.
And then it says, what are you?
I'm going to pull my shoulders proud and puff out my chest. I'm a kitsune.
It's staring at you for a bit longer. Not an elf?
No, I am visiting to...
Nor a dwarf?
No. Is there a problem with that?
Yet you parade around in such a fashion. Dost thou think thyself beautiful?
Yes!
Do you actually say it that loud?
Absolutely!
The other figures adjust slightly at that. Not looking at you, Lekka. One of them is kind of passively looking at Aldrin as he's kind of standing behind, and he'll kind of move on up and then looks to Aldrin and can see his ears are not pointy, nor is he short. So this figure also gives sort of a weird look to Aldrin. And the figure over to the bar to the right kind of slinks on out and just sort of begins watching from a distance. And you can see the Guardian looking to you, Sarabi, and says, your kind is not welcome here.
And why not?
The figure stands up to its 10, 15 or so foot height, looking down upon you. It says, your brazenness is not appreciated. You are not a guest here, and guests do not belong.
Is there any way we can call the front door man?
You don't know how. You can make an attempt.
Wait, was he a hologram or like I don't know, something else?
They were basically a hologram, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and call out. Hey, front door man, they're trying to kick me out. I checked in.
There's a humming now in the room, almost as if it's attempting to maybe respond. And it says, the figure in front of you, shouting will not be tolerated. I will now forcibly eject you from the building.
Oh, dear God.
It lets go of the door and pulls back a fist as if to punch you. And the other one begins to move forward. If you wish, you may dive into the room as it's no longer holding onto it, but you know it's going to be swinging at you like literally within a second.
Yes, I'll dive into the room.
Alrighty. Because you're so close, I won't have you roll or anything because you are indeed far away enough and it's going to react fairly slowly. It's still kind of waking up. And it does indeed punch. As you roll into the room, its fist goes hurtling over right where your head was and kind of snaps back. And it's a body, like, as you're kind of watching it, she's already rolled into the room. It's not responding as if it missed. And it kind of looks like where she was confusedly, like, slinks forward and is looking onto the area where Sarabi just was a second ago. And then looks to you, Lekka, and says, where did the intruder go to?
And I'll point to the other side of the room.
She teleported.
Nods to you and says, understood. I must have been confused. And they'll both look at each other and then start to kind of go over that way.
All right.
They very slowly move over this direction.
Close door.
They like you, but not me?
I mean, kobolds are an old race.
Unacceptable.
And also, I look like a peasant, you know.
Like a what?
Peasant.
That
You
doesn't-
know how old the elves are. They're the best.
They should be super stylish. I should fit right in.
Yeah, but they don't like it when you take their stylishness, you know.
God damn it. Pompous assholes.
I mean, you remember, this is an island of, like, elven pleasure bullshit. It's, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's perfect for me. I'm perfect for this place. Anyway.
You're too perfect for this place. That's why they want you dead.
Oh my god. Yeah. So I'm competition? I see how it is. Should they approach me again, I will have a fireball ready, just FYI.
I have an easier solution.
Which is?
I just make the two of you invisible.
Ooh, that's not a bad idea.
I mean, it lasts for an hour anyway.
I was just gonna say, how long does it last again? An hour is perfect, because we can slip through the rooms real quick.
It's going to be you and Aldrin.
I mean, they seem to like you, so, and they're gonna need to see someone open the doors, so
they
you can just
definitely
lead
like
the
me.
way. I'm jealous. All right, what's in this room?
A pool that is carved into the center of the floor.
Does it still have water?
Unfortunately, yes, and smells quite horrible.
Ugh.
The pool itself is shaped like a fractal flower that, if you gaze upon it for just a moment, seems to slowly shift. Other than that, there really isn't much more in here. Just a really, really, really nasty pool just Squat right in the middle.
All right. Well, I don't want to get any closer to it, so invisibility time?
Yes, the two of you get here next to me. 3rd level, so I can have 2 people affecting it, I believe.
Excellent. And that lasts for an hour?
It is concentration though, so I hope I don't get hit.
Just don't get whacked.
Now let's hope they can't see invisible shit, actually.
I guess we'll find out.
All right, do you guys pop outside?
Yeah.
Just in case, start dancing in front of the portal so you can pop through.
What? Start dancing?
Yeah, I mean, I can't see you either.
Oh yeah, you guys
Go dancing.
Yes, are you guys holding hands or like what are y'all doing?
I mean, I'm assuming they're just following me, so...
Yeah, I'm just gonna follow, like on his heels.
Oh, you can follow the cushiness of the carpet.
Do they seem to react at all to them walking around?
No, they're actually very focused on whatever was over here. You see them kind of opening doors and looking about and whatnot. They're not going in the rooms, but they are checking. As you guys walked by, the one in the room next to the room you guys are currently in, its head was extended into the room looking around. So this long-ass neck was like pulling out slowly, seemingly having found nothing.
Thank God you have invisibility.
Yes, very helpful if you're trying to escape pirates.
Said with experience. Interesting story. I'm very interested.
Well, it's not just for pirates,
Yeah.
I mean, the authorities don't want you smuggling in specific items in specific towns.
Wow.
I disagree.
I'm very glad you and I are friends.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't smuggle in the deadly stuff. There's plenty of stuff that is completely illegal in Shun Hill. Completely illegal in different places of the world.
I mean, yeah, that's just how the world works.
And that's how I make my money. Or well, I did before I ended up in this island.
Don't worry, we'll be leaving sooner or later.
I hope so. My ship's still out there, Docked.
Oh. Ugh. Do they know you're gonna be away from it for a while?
Oh yeah. I mean, it was part of the contract with Ma. She's taking care of my ship.
Oh, okay.
Of course, that also means that if I die, it's theirs, but
Well, she hasn't made me think she wants us dead yet, but who knows?
Just make sure she doesn't expect you're hiding something from her.
Good point.
Anyway.
Since you guys are invisible, we can, presumably, as long as you stay away from these guardians, you can go into any room you want, basically at any time. As long as you're moving slow, and we indeed are going to be. So, I can kind of do a quick rundown of general things we find. Upon moving in and out of various rooms, in one room, we find like a stone gazebo. There is...
oh no. Gazebos. The worst enemy.
Oh. You find a stone gazebo, and in the middle of it, it looks like if it was somehow crafted out of glass. It looks like coral, but it's more cacti in form. It's thicker, but formed in like the shape of a coral. And well,
a glass cacti coral gazebo.
Yeah, that was full.
Okay.
It was full of water. Well, it is still full of water, and there's a bunch of just dead at one time. At the bottom, there's just like bones and just stuff.
Of what, like fish? Or something else?
Presumably fish. It's just muck at the bottom. Yeah. So whatever was living in there is just long dead.
Or aquarians.
Pretty much.
Whatever they're called.
Yeah, it's small enough that no one would fit in there, but it'd be like fish, maybe small eels, things of that nature. One of the other rooms has a bunch of giant crystal skull beds that look really hard until you jump on them, and they're weirdly soft.
Like crystal skull beds?
Yeah, when you jump on them, they actually self-illuminate.
Like the bed itself is shaped like a skull, or like the...
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, very weird, yeah. And there's like 6 of them or so, like spread around the room, 3 on each side. And where you, like, if you get close and touch it, it feels like it's soft like a beanbag, if anything. You can jump right onto it, and it just completely bends on into your will. Very comfortable, actually.
Oh, I kind of want to take one of these with me.
I agree, but it's way too big.
Yeah.
Too bad we don't have one of those, those bags that just hold everything.
I know, right?
A few other things you guys find.
I don't think they would fit inside that either.
These aren't too big, so they probably would. But these bad boys here, through them in Discord, a bunch of wooden tubes that are tied tightly. You can tell that some of these would be used for snorting various powders. You see one that is similar to the snorting variant. One kind of breaks off like a wishbone, where it's 2 pipes that go down to a single pipe. Shove it in your nose, snort it up, good times. The other one, it looks sort of like some form of really, really archaic injector. It's got 2 needle points, and then you can see that at the top, you could inject, a liquid or maybe a powder mixed with water, or like a jellied version of Sapopa, and probably inject it into yourself.
Those are kind of gross. I'm going to ignore them.
They're all very gross. Yeah, there's like caked blood on them and old caked blood on them. But yeah.
I bet those aren't sanitary.
No.
You want to bet on it?
No, seems like an unfair bet, honestly.
Yes.
On one of the beds, you find a chain. It is a platinum chain. So, Robbie, you would actually recognize this. It looks just like it's thrown into a little pile at first, but as you pick it up, this is actually a belly chain for belly dancers. It's got little diamonds adorned every couple inches and some dangling bells and such.
Oh, I will absolutely stash that in a pocket.
Mm-hmm. It's also...
Do anything?
Oh, it does, yes. Yeah, I guess I can throw all y'all there, and we'll say we're just going from room to room at this point. And every time you guys kind of pop out, the guardians are... They're moving opposite of where you guys are. So if you guys go left, they'll go right. You guys are making sure to stay away from them, of course. They're not moving super quick. And occasionally, they turn and look in your general direction, but not seeing anything, they move along. You get the feeling that like maybe they might be like vaguely tracking you, but if it's a function they haven't figured it out just yet. But we're staying safe,
I'll
of
just
course.
go like, I've been in every room. I don't think they're here anymore.
So this one, did you add it as an item?
No, not yet.
Okay, I'll go ahead and add it for you. This is the Provocateur's belly chain.
Like the name.
It is a platinum belly chain adorned with diamonds and small dangling bells every inch or so. It increases your agility and enables you to flawlessly execute 3 new highly provocative dances.
Perfect.
Very fitting.
Very.
That you understand dancing and such. You probably would know some of these dances, but
I mean, if it helps you learn some new ones, great.
Indeed. There's at least 2. There's a lot of fun things in here. I'll go with this one. All right. Shoved into a small box with its lid kind of slapped off, sort of chilling in the corner. It's approximately the size of, it can probably fit, I would say, a large grapefruit. And inside this box is a smooth sphere of gold, the size of a very large grapefruit.
Hey, Lekka, you like shiny things, right?
Of course.
I'll toss it to you. Is it hard, heavy, not actually metal?
It's pure gold. Do you catch it, Lekka?
Yeah.
Alrighty. As you place both hands on it, you guys are in one of the rooms, by the way. Roll me a d6.
What did you do to my wife?
We didn't mean to. It's gold. I don't want it.
It's fine.
As you catch this ball, and not 1 second later, suddenly the gold on the face of this ball begins to shift and warp, and out pushes forth this, I wouldn't say beautiful, it's a very stern-looking face that presents itself to you. It kind of yawns, it goes like, stretches a bit, looks at you, right in the eyes like breathes in deeply, and just pukes a cloud of 100 translucent iridescent butterflies in your direction.
That is not what I was expecting to come out.
After it's done puking and kind of spitting the last few butterflies out, it's like, ugh, and then looks at you
I'm
and
just
goes,
standing there with my eye closed, sighing heavily.
it looks at you and smiles and goes, ha-ha, and then it just kind of like phases back into the ball.
What's a behemoth?
Oh, that's berserk.
Oh, okay.
But after it does that, it just kind of stops.
Well,
Right.
you can keep that.
I'll hold it in one hand and like stick it in my pocket or something. I don't even want to know what the hell it is.
We'll find out later.
I'll check it out later.
Alrighty. For now, you can call it the golden face ball.
Very descriptive.
Indeed. It has stuff on it, but that stuff is what happens when you roll the d6. So I'll hold on to it for a second. And I think there's one more thing. We'll say you guys found this one in the room of skulls. There is a seamless 2-inch glass cube, and it appears to contain about 27 cut diamonds of exceptional quality. Doesn't have a lid or anything. They're just kind of sitting in there.
About 27, huh?
I don't know why it's so specific, but yes.
Like a shiny.
Definitely has magic floating within it. It is not just a fancy cube.
Are those diamonds? I'm taking those, definitely.
Did you say it's enclosed?
Yes, completely seamless.
Shake it.
Hey, that sounds like a bad idea.
Shake it gently.
I mean, I guess I'll try to see if it clinks.
All right, it indeed does. Doesn't seem to damage it whatsoever.
Right.
Do we see anything? Hold it up to the light?
I mean, there's definitely something about this. I guess. Is there any light falls here?
So there obviously is light that phases in through the doors into the room. There's a really, really, really pale light coming out of these portals, but that's basically it. There's no actual light in the room you guys are in, so it's really dark in here. Unless one of the doors is open.
What about one of the rooms, basically?
Yeah, so if you were going to one of the rooms, are you trying to hold like light up to it so it shines through?
Basically.
It's gorgeous. It shoots rainbow light everywhere, but besides that, it doesn't really seem to do anything.
Well, it looks nice, and there's definitely something in it, but
Yeah, like it definitely does something. If you were to cast your spell on it, I'll let you know.
I mean, we'll do it when we get downstairs again.
Sure. But other than that, that's the last thing you'll find.
All right, it's time to go now. Goodbye. Wave, and I'll jump to the portal.
As you shout that, they all sort of give you a bow as you traverse on through.
I want to make a raspberry sound as I jump through.
All right.
A raspberry sound?
Yeah, the tongue. That.
Oh, okay. I've never heard that.
You've never heard it called a raspberry before?
Nope.
Oh. what would you call that? It does not have a name.
I mean, just sticking your tongue out, I guess.
Fair enough. Also, blowing on someone's stomach and making the fart sound is also called a raspberry.
It's called something else, but I'm not sure. I can't remember what it is now.
Alrighty, you guys are easily able to go back to the second floor, and it's just easy to remember. There's music playing, someone left the door open, so the music's a bit louder. But other than that, no changes.
Oh, guys, now that we're back here, come look at this.
What? We've already been here.
Wait, you didn't take a look at the mirrors? There's leaves sticking out of them, like some like a.
Look at the weird mirrors with the weird mud men next to it.
But it looks like it could be a portal. I mean, why would leaves be here? Looking like they blew out of it.
I guess that's fair.
And
try walking through it.
No, I didn't want to do it alone.
Might as well if we're sitting here. I'll identify everything we have found, including the mirror quotation marks.
Works for me.
Alrighty.
Keep an eye on that thing though, because I don't trust.
I'll watch it, okay, while you identify. How's that?
Sure.
The entire time you were sitting here, relaxing, it doesn't seem to...
Also, I dropped concentration on the invisibility.
Okay. All right, it has more information, which I'll go ahead and keep over here. But yeah, basically, whenever you touch it with both hands, you roll a d6, and it will do something fun. It's a game, so it's not anything bad. It's not going to kill you. You know this is... I wouldn't say a child's toy, but it's like a drinking game, basically. You grab it, and then it does something.
I hate it.
It's going to be loud, so don't do it when you're trying to be quiet, but yeah.
Yeah.
And it only triggers
it's fine.
when you put both hands on it. So you know touching with one hand to identify it and looking at it, it's not going to freak it out or anything. Go ahead and call this one, or say it is a seamless, unbreakable 2-inch glass cube. It appears to contain 27 cut diamonds of exceptional quality. A spellcaster can use this cube to cast spells without expending your own energy. However, you know there is a downside to this. And you know it only has so many uses, although you cannot tell how many it has, and it's intentionally trying to obscure them. This is very much sort of a trick item. It will do what it says. The downside, though, is that whenever you use the cube, it will deepen your feelings of shame, regret, or guilt. It's called the cubic focus of shame.
Nice. I don't want to be near this thing.
So you very much can use it after a certain amount of time. It will no longer be useful.
And it's unbreakable, huh? For shame.
Seemingly unbreakable, yes. And you can tell pretty easily. Oh, in terms of, sorry, this is like more OSR. In terms of for us, anything that is level, obviously any spell that you have level 3 or lower, you can just boop, shoot it out.
Does it extend the feelings of guilt permanently, or does it wear off with time?
It wears off. It does indeed have limited uses, though. So this is really good for a druid or a cleric, because you have a lot of spells, obviously. All you can do is touch it. You don't get attuned to it. You just give it a touch, and you can cast a spell.
Will also be good for emergency, like invisibilities and stuff.
I guess. Especially as up to 3rd level, I assume I can also upcast stuff.
Yes, so if you want to cast something at a higher level, you can very much do that.
Wait, actually, this is great for you, Sarabi. You can use this to cast the spell we need to rescue the portrait lady.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I mean, you'll feel ashamed for a bit, but...
That's fine. I don't have much to be ashamed of.
We'll fight out.
Alrighty, and by this point, since it took you guys a little bit of time to do your thing, Daniel comes flapping on in as you're sort of exploring the last item. As you touch the mirror, you realize the thing that I told Sarabi before. These are indeed 100% enchanted. Something's going to happen to this one, though, in just a second. But their intent is for you to see yourself, not other people. You see yourself as beautiful, not necessarily at your happiest, but as your top physical beauty. Even if it's completely vapid, that's the way you see yourself. So you see the perfect, physically attractive Lekka when you look into the mirror.
Yeah, Lekka sees himself as a dragonborn.
Yeah, basically. Like, whatever you think would be like the hottest version of Lekka, the most like vapid, just, oh, I'm so hot. That's exactly what you say.
I mean, basically, with like massive electrical crackling behind him and stuff like that, floating in the air, being an absolute god of a man.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm hot. Oh
He has
I'm
like a
sorry.
12 pack.
my god.
Damn, I didn't know I looked this good.
Say what?
Yes, I'm like posing in front of the mirror at this point.
Micah, what are you doing?
Looking at myself in the mirror. Of course.
What? It's not that amazing. Come on.
What do you mean? Flex. Look at this.
I only see myself in this mirror. These mirrors are weird.
And then the identify pops in and Lekka goes like, oh. Now you said.
No.
No, so that's what they do.
Sorry.
They make you see yourself as perfect. But they definitely aren't portals.
Oh, so I think I'm pretty perfect already. We must do something else, though. Why else would these leaves be here?
I don't know.
We'll find out when God gets back, I guess.
Where did the leaves even come from?
That is a good question.
Can't be that old. Otherwise they would have been crumbled to dust already. Like, I think the slime thingy brought them in, but from where?
Well, those 3 downstairs did come from outside.
Well, those were, I don't know, trying to do nothing. There were a few of them trying to come upstairs as well, I guess.
Alrighty. While I was AFK for a second, were you guys doing anything?
We were deciding why this tower is so weirdly shaped and what's behind this wall.
Prior to that, though, when you were looking at the glass back there, you were giving it a poke. While you were over here, Sarabi, where were you positioned while he was identifying the wall?
I was going to stand nearby, but keep my eye on the ooze.
The entire time, the ooze is literally nothing. You guys chit-chat. You make a little bit of noise. You're touching items. It doesn't seem to care. It's just swaying to the left, swaying to the right, trying to keep to the music as much as it possibly can while staring at itself in the mirror. And after you finish investigating this mirror, Lekka, if you could roll me a dexterity save. Excellent. Alrighty.
Thank God.
You take your hand away from it after having finished identifying and figuring out what it is, and you hear a crack. And as you do, something comes surging through this broken mirror. The orange ooze, one of its cephalopods, pushes forward and kind of slaps onto the floor right where you were sitting. Fortunately, you're able to roll backwards in time to completely avoid it. It's not necessarily looking at either of you, but it seems confused.
Aha! I knew it was a door!
Oh, you said it was a portal.
Door, portal, close enough.
They're completely different. It doesn't matter. Is it coming to us?
It's moving over the glass, trying to look like where did it go? Where did it go? It's almost panicking in a way. You can sort of hear it burbling up. It's not necessarily looking at you and Sarabi, but it is currently in a state of just ah. And it is slowly moving towards you though.
You might pick up a piece of glass and aim it at him. See if he reacts to it.
Turning the glass towards this thing, it focuses and then slowly moves towards you.
I'm gonna lead it to the other mirror to the north. And then see if I can keep it distracted there, I guess.
Alrighty. As you begin moving north, very, very carefully, holding the mirror as straight as you possibly can. It didn't completely shatter into tiny pieces, so you're able to pick up a large enough one. You slowly move it over. You shift and turn the shard of glass over to the other mirror, and it looks at itself, and then kind of starts swaying again, staring at itself in the mirror, seemingly happy.
Oh, thank God.
I guess that means the mirrors are double-sided.
I guess. Makes sense.
You see
Creep through the hole?
You see a bunch of leaves and such that are all just kind of sprayed out here, and there's a little veranda here. And on the other side, you see another orange sludge kind of just swaying and chilling, looking in a mirror and enjoying itself.
A veranda, you say?
Yeah,
What's over it?
Looking over the edge, you guys can see the mountain. You're on the second floor, so you guys aren't too high up.
So I'm gonna look up and see how far the tower goes up further, I guess.
It's difficult to tell, considering you guys are using portals, not stairs, but there should be one more floor, judging by the height of the room, at least.
You mean above that top floor we were on?
Correct.
I'm gonna send Daniel up there to see what's there.
Okay. As you guys are kind of chilling out here, these slimes paying it no mind. Daniel flies on up, kind of does his thing. He comes back down and just kind of, shrug, more of the same. Yeah, there's the top of it, but, no windows, no way to get in.
Oh. No openings at all? Is it flat up there?
Flat as in...
Could you stand there, basically?
Oh, the top is domed, so he sat on top of the dome and kind of looked around, but there's no way to get in.
Too bad. There's also a big lens on it, right?
Indeed, yeah.
Nothing there either?
Oh, shakes his head now. It's sealed very well.
Well, that's an issue. Worst case scenario, you're gonna have to blow a hole.
Nods.
Ready the fireball.
Does that have enough power to burst a hole through a wall?
Probably not. A man can dream. There doesn't
All
seem
right.
to be a lot here.
Yeah, is there anything up here?
Honestly, it's just a lookout. It's quite nice as you guys move about. Shifting over to the north, you do indeed find something. Let me grab the image because it's too funny not to. All right, before you ask me, what's that, Hub?
What's that, Hub?
You find a metal codpiece.
Nice. We needed something for Eldrin.
Highly exaggerated, entirely made of silver. It's engraved with the scene of a waterfall.
What the fudge?
I wouldn't touch that if I were you.
I wonder if I could sell it. I might be able to sell it.
I mean, probably.
It's got
It's silver.
Yeah, it's silver and it's got leather straps.
It's antique. The motif is nice. Sure, someone would buy it.
Can I pick it up very gingerly and stuff it away somewhere like in a corner where I won't touch often?
Just give it to Eldrin.
Using one of your
You can carry
gloves.
Yes. Here, Alton, try this on. Winky.
Hard no. He finds something to wrap it in and stuffs it into his
The
bag.
that should not be named.
Indeed. All right, this indeed does do something.
Oh, of course it does.
I'll go ahead and let you know. It is magical in nature. Very simple, though. The wearer does not need to eat, drink, sleep, or excrete waste. It's party time, basically. You can party as long as you want with this codpiece on. However, the leather straps holding the piece are always just a little too tight to be comfortable, and the device stops functioning if covered by any clothing. So it must be loud and proud.
All right. I'm sure some crazy party rich guy will be willing to buy it.
Lekka contemplates.
The party codpiece.
I mean, I don't wear a lot of clothes anyway. Actually, no, I would have to take off this cloak.
Yeah, the cloak's cooler.
You can wear the
Yeah.
cloak, you just can't cover the codpiece.
Oh, so no pants.
Oh.
No pants, correct.
I mean, I'm not wearing any pants anywhere.
Say what?
No, I have shorts on.
He's a kobold, yeah.
Like, I can walk around naked without anything showing, so yeah.
Actually, hang on. This has been outside. Is it not worn down by weather?
Oh, it's definitely weathered down, yeah.
It's a magical item. It lasts for a while, you know.
Right, yeah.
Are the art is the decoration still like perfectly intact?
I would say it's grimy, but you'll have a spell that makes that not so it's fine.
Oh,
I mean, all you
Oh,
do is
if anything, we
just
could
touch
sell
it.
it to one of the fancy lizard folk. What are they called again?
the Kiru.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to be about partying, you know.
I guess.
I will say,
Like, at this point, I'm just looking like, where do you normally enter this place?
upon closer inspection to the mirror that broke, it seems as if when this place was up and functioning properly, they could function as revolving doors. Specifically, the large one to your right, Lekka, where you see the ooze on this side, there's one on the other side. This one specifically, can function as a door. It's just they're so old that there's a % chance they'll break if you touch them.
One more thing. Can we tell any details about the mountain?
Anything in particular?
It's Svarku's mountain, right?
This is a volcano.
Oh, a volcano?
Yeah.
This is the small one next to this tower.
Correct.
Okay.
Like, we might be able to see the city from here, I guess.
Can we?
From this angle, you can definitely see part of the city, yeah. It was easier to see it from the other rooms.
Okay.
Obviously, you're higher up, so.
Like, I am actually higher up, right?
Currently, you guys are on floor
Wait.
2. You guys were on floor
Yeah.
3, so it was easier to see on floor 3.
Yeah. Makes sense. Not that it's some kind of weird jumble tower.
Yeah,
It actually
it's
went to the top here.
yeah, it actually went higher. So on that note, looking outward, you guys can tell that you actually were on floor 3, so that makes sense. You can look at your surroundings to gauge where you are. Other than that, you guys were asking about the bottom section.
Yeah.
What precisely were you guys looking at over here?
Like, it seems to be cut off, and we know that there's a staircase behind it, like circling.
There is, yeah.
Are there any decorations on the wall?
So there's the kinetic wallpaper of the gold, the lapis, and the obsidian triangles that are jumping around. They specifically only move when you guys are nearby. There are some sections of this wallpaper that are covered in that orange crystal. Those do not move. They're stuck.
I want to start touching everything.
Okay.
Poke, pull, tug, push.
I identify the entire wall. Show me your secrets.
All right, as the two of you begin to move about, as I mentioned before, there are plenty of beautiful statues here. And so, Robbie, as you and Lek are kind of poking and touching the walls, between two statues over to your right specifically, you notice that some of the stones in the wall appear to be loose.
Poke, poke, poke.
As you poke, one of the statues shifts, and you see a bunch of dust settle. It begins to twist and turn as it basically drills itself down into the floor, and then behind it, suddenly a door is revealed, or a passageway leading to the south.
Ooh, look, over here.
Ooh, the door is ajar.
WTF is this place?
You're instantly greeted by a kitchen.
Oh, cute.
Ooh. I mean, I doubt there's anything edible left, but
All spoiled. Everything looks like it's definitely seen better days. There's a pantry in the back. It doesn't really have anything in it besides lots of metal shelving. There's no crystal back here, though. There is very, very little in the kitchen, like very little in the kitchen, and there's literally none in the pantry. So it didn't seem to make it back into this room.
Are there any fancy cutlery or knives?
something might have survived here then, I guess.
There's definitely cooking knives. They're aged.
Okay. Anything fancy though, or just pure efficiency?
As you begin to look about, you actually hear one of the metal ovens begins to kind of shake. They're very large and egg-shaped with hinged doors. There's 3 total, and the middle one's shaking a little bit, just barely,
Shaking what way?
as if something's moving inside it.
I'm gonna grab a knife and open the door and back away.
You wedge the door open, and it bursts open. 2 fluttering creatures fly out of it, just gasping. After they cease their movement, they look about the room. Upon closer inspection, they seem to be almost entirely composed of gas, and they have these small little wings that are just like flap, 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 flap. As they're looking towards each of you, they look to each other, and they look to each of you, and they kind of point and go like, ah!
Oh, it's more of these guys.
And they point back at the oven, and they're trying to discuss something, and like one of them kicks the oven.
Okay.
We do know they're elementals, so they can only contact, Sarabi via any body language. And you, Lekka, you can sense that they are relieved to be free. They're not angry, so they're not mad at you guys. They're actually really happy that you freed them.
Wait, they're air elementals?
Effectively, yeah. They're made of steam.
Daniel, come in here.
Daniel flies on in.
I found friends for you.
Oh, cool. They look to Daniel, and they like, kind of begin flying around each other. Daniel kind of squawks at them. They make really interesting noises back at Daniel, and they're seeming to converse something. And like I said, Lekka, the emotional wave you're getting from the 2 of them is happiness. Like, holy shit, we were stuck there forever. Looking in there, Sarabi, there actually is indeed a knife that is kind of wedged into the back corner, but it's not a cooking knife. It looks more like a dagger.
I'll pull it out.
As you're going to turn it in your hand, it seems to be quite dull, actually. It's made of obsidian, and the hilt represents a serpent that is breathing fire. The fire is the blade.
It's fine. It's probably decorational anyway.
The 2 of them kind of,
Special.
they give you a look, Sarabi, as you pull that out, and like, that was ours. And then Daniel kind of like squawks some things to them. They go,
Oh,
like,
I mean, if they want it, they can have it back. How do they hold it?
they can pick things up.
All right, I'll hand it over.
What is it for?
He takes it, and then he kind of just stabs the other one with it, and he goes like, ah! And then he pulls it out, and then he kind of laughs, and then he stabs the other one, and he goes, ah! And then he pulls it out, and you can tell they're just kind of shifting around it, and they kind of just shrug, and like they point out like it looks cool.
Makes sense.
Daniel squawks a few things more at them of like, basically you can tell like he's like, hey, we rescued you. The most you could do is give us a little reward, right? And they kind of go, yeah, sure. And they kind of begrudgingly, with like shoulders down, he flies over to you, Sarabi, and puts it back in your hand.
Oh, thank you.
And he kind of gives you a wave of like, whatever. It's all good.
I'll take care of
It's
it. I
nice.
promise.
Free to go if you want.
Yeah. Other than that, they seem hyped and excited to be free. So they kind of move around Daniel. The 3 of them sort of like fly around each other happily, and they give Daniel a nod. Daniel nods back to them, goes to perch on your shoulder, Lekka. They both look to you and give you like a 2-handed wave, as they both easily could fit through this door, but decide not to, and they're like shoving each other and pushing each other and like laughing as they both kind of jet out and presumably go to fly out the
Just
window.
nods. Yeah, makes sense. That's air elementals for you.
I don't have much experience with them.
Probably for the best, honestly. They can be a bit much.
Yeah, I can tell.
Like, honestly, it's weird how calm Daniel is.
I mean, he's your summon.
He's vibrating with
I mean,
excitement.
he
trying to
wasn't
show.
always my summon. I met him when he was a free spirit,
One could say he was a free bird.
Oh my god.
He just kind of, tagged along.
Well, I guess you tamed him then.
Yeah, or he tamed me. Not sure yet.
Or that. You tamed each other.
Let's go with that.
All right. Well, I explored most of this other room, so I guess back downstairs we go.
Was there anything in the other room? Inside the kitchen?
No, that was actually completely empty, and to the point where it looks like it was protected, and whatever storm or nasty bit of badness didn't seem to get to it. And as you guys descend, we move back
Wow,
to the first floor.
I could have survived in there, I guess.
Daniel flies on down. You guys are all met with the same Same room. You got the oozes moving around. They're not really doing anything too crazy.
Also, don't want to come and get me though, so I'm gonna slowly sneak past, I guess, out of their vision.
All right, looking
It's a
around the
knife of
room.
-1 damage.
They don't necessarily seem to notice you all.
Yeah, that's what we thought last time.
You guys are far enough that you're seemingly safe. Anything in particular y'all want to look at?
I mean, I'm just want to go unless we've explored all the other parts, right?
Yeah, did we explore everything here?
Baseline, yeah. You guys didn't really look. You just kind of walked over.
What is 8?
Those are the hanging spheres and squares.
Oh, Aldrin mentioned those, right?
Yeah, a bunch of cubes and squares that are about 10 by 10 metal, and they're woven, hanging at different heights from the ceiling. Some have completely fallen, but most are still hanging. If you get close, this like little pedestal rises up to about the height of it and then moves back down when you move away.
I want to go see one.
Okay. As you walk up, a pedestal to your left sort of clicks free, waits a moment.
I'll hop on.
Okay, you hop on, and a second later, it slowly rises you up to basically a little egg bed. I wouldn't necessarily recommend jumping in, as this is quite old and a little mildewy.
Ew.
The chains are definitely gonna break.
Is it empty?
You're able to kind of look around a bit, and you can see they're all hanging at different heights, and you got one of the higher ones. They're not empty. They have definitely pillows and things of that nature. A lot of like smoking paraphernalia. Almost all smoking paraphernalia here. You can tell that people would just jump up here, chill, smoke, and just rock away in this little like, bed swing type thing. You can see a few beds over though. One of the cube ones. There's something nestled under one of the pillows.
I'll ride the elevator down and go to the other bed and ride it up.
As you go ahead and
Before she gets there, I'm gonna grab it with my mage hand.
Excellent. Right before you're actually able to get all the way up to Sarabi, a little what color is your mage hand? Like purple?
It's the same color as my scales.
Okay, perfect. It flies up there and kind of just yoinks this thing and then pulls it down to Lekka.
Hey.
Your bird catches the worm.
Hands on hips.
I'll
Humph.
quickly take a look at it.
Yes, you have in your little mitts a large green leather satchel that is completely embossed with scenes of an elven dwarven orgy.
Ah, yes. I'll float it back up to Sarabi. You can have this.
I'll take a look at it.
It is barely held closed with like a little button that just absolutely does not want to exist anymore.
Ooh, my lovely. And I'll take a peek inside.
Okay. As you open it up, it is full of approximately 6, about one. They're approximately about 1 foot like long pink candles. They're really thick too. They have a really like musky smell to them. Real strong. It's nice though. It's definitely nice. Fortunately, this smell still persists.
What's it smell like?
Sexy. It's got a sexy smell to it.
Smells like sexy. Okay.
Yeah, it smells like a saxophone.
I'm definitely stashing these away.
You've heard of candles like this. These aren't just candles. You know they're not just candles. You've seen things in your avenue of work, Sarabi, so you can maybe venture to guess. If you want to roll something, I can tell you what they are. They're not magical. Well, maybe a little magical.
Okay, what do you want me to roll?
That's a great question. Because this would be...
You said something I'm familiar with?
Yeah.
So then history?
History with charisma.
Honestly, just roll your charisma. This is something that you would know via your charisma. So, cool. These are basically sex candles. You 100% know that. Not necessarily just the smell, but the kit in general. When lit, these candles will produce a pinkish haze. They melt very, very, very slowly to the point where they might not be melting at all, actually. After about 5 or so minutes, the haze from the candles can fill a 10 by 10 area, like a really slow smoke bomb. Prolonged exposure to the smoke can lead to a pleasant but persistent arousal. Absolute hatred of closing, and you know the rest.
So they set the mood.
They set the mood. They're mood candles, yeah.
Yeah, you're not lighting those in my tiny hut.
Don't worry, I won't. You are not the prey I seek.
Did you add this one?
Then you might be.
No, I didn't.
Okay, it's called Orgy in a Bag.
Oh my god!
I know, right? It's so funny. And the description even says, leads to a pleasant but persistent arousal, hatred of clothing, and ... Well...
Well...
That's the description the book gave. I love it.
Make sure you're ready.
All right, so you now have sexy candles.
Wow, I love this tower. This tower is great. Too bad I couldn't see it in its heyday.
I mean, this place is like perfect for you, yeah.
I don't think you would be allowed in its heyday.
Oh, don't remind me! I would make myself come in, damn it. They would say no to me.
I mean, they're elves.
I might actually have some relatives that are old enough to have come here.
Yeah, should ask your mom.
God, I haven't even thought about my parents yet.
I mean, considering how old
More like
Good
my
to get.
grandma. I don't think my mom's quite that old yet.
she's not 1,000 years old.
Not yet. All right. Next to the painting, Delphina.
Alrighty, your group heads on over there, and she is seemingly waiting for you. Just kind of chilling. She's not far away. She's very close to the painting. And as you guys get closer, she gives you a wave.
Hello, Delphina.
Hello, Sarabi. Did you all have fun?
Yes and no.
Something like that.
The tower is both fascinating and scary.
This is true.
How many levels does the tower have?
That's a good question. I'm not actually sure. I've only been on the first. This is one. Well, the first 3 primarily. The 4th one's more of a museum. I haven't gone anywhere else, though.
Actually makes sense. I think there's one more floor we haven't been able to find yet, but there's no way to get there, I think.
And did you say museum?
She nods.
What city museum of?
It's like trees and such. Various plants from other planes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Are they supposed to be like 2 plants overtaking half the tower?
She gives you a look of like, no, what?
Okay, so invasive species took claim of, yeah. I imagine it was pretty back in the day.
Oh, was it ruined?
1,000 years of unwholesome growth,
Oh, shame.
There's half of it is vines, and the other half is like hell moss or something.
Is the dryad still there?
Or
Dryad?
Oh.
was it dryad?
Oh. No
I
mind.
mean, we found a snake staff.
Oh, that's good. And the way she said that was like, I don't know what that is, but cool.
I mean,
right, which spell
dryad
am I
might
using on
still be
her?
there. Dryads live in trees, right?
Oh yeah. She nods. Just
She was in a very, very large tree.
I don't think there was a large
There was
tree.
No, there was one. It was not very healthy, I think.
It was a huge oak. It almost went to the ceiling. Quite pretty.
Was there one that big?
there's a large dead tree.
I think
Yeah.
there was, yeah.
Oh, a dead
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, it was super dead.
Yeah, there was that one. It was kind of constricted by the invasive fine tree thingy and not exactly alive anymore.
Yeah.
She kind of gives you guys a look of like, I keep forgetting how much time has passed. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I mean, honestly, a dryad might still be alive. You never know. Weird magical creatures and all that.
I mean, we could go take a look after I get her out of there, I guess.
Yes. Have fun with the cube of shame.
What? Oh, no. Okay. I will use the spell to get her out. Which one am I using?
The spell magic?
Yeah, I believe you just have Dispel Magic.
I mean, she's a cleric. She should have it, yeah.
And it doesn't cost a spell slot. You can just cast it using the cube. So whenever you guys use it, just add 1 to the use. So we'll count up rather than counting down.
That's fair.
All right, as you touch this painting, she like rubs her hands together very excitedly and kind of closes her eyes and puts her hands on what would be a wall or something on her side. It's difficult to tell, but she's like breathing in and like, come on. The frame begins to glow. The runes kind of begin to twirl and spin around this thing, and the desert behind her begins to shimmer and wave. And as it does, you can see the painting kind of pushing out as her hands are begin to like melding out, almost as she's like pushing through a film.
Do you mean like Stranger Things, where that thing was coming through the wall?
Less creepy, but yes. And she just sort of,
Nothing like that.
after like a second, it looks as if she'll like slowly push through, and it just kind of pops, and she just like boop, and just like it rolls into the ground. It's like doot, landing behind this like banister. And she gets up and looks around and like breathes in and goes, I'm finally free.
Are you okay?
Congratulations.
She's looking around and she's like shaking with excitement, like, oh yes. She looks back at the painting. She scowls at it and just punches it.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair.
She gives it a nod and says,
I'm doing fine. Yes.
Should we destroy the painting in case anyone else gets locked in it, or...
That's a good idea.
Can we?
Aldrin, swing at it!
Actually, is it still magical?
that's a great question. I would say the magic still exists, but it's no longer holding anyone. And magic things can, of course, be destroyed. You just got to beat the shit out of it.
I mean, we also sell it to Ma or something.
No, let's not do that. That
Aldrin's
sounds like a bad idea.
Aldrin's ready to smack it. He's like holding the mace.
Go, Aldrin, do it!
It's your call.
Smack. He smacks
I think that could be abused.
She like dives over to look for something, and she finds
Honestly,
like some,
anything on this island can be abused.
very much so. She finds like some errant wood and grabs it, and she starts beating the shit out of the painting with Aldrin. And she smiles, and he goes one more huff, looks to your group, and she says,
Honestly, thank you. Truly. You mentioned my people are still on the island, yes?
Supposedly. I'm not sure where they are, though.
Oh,
I know of at least one of you.
what is she
Yes.
again?
Quarian or something?
she's one of the Nereids.
Yeah, like I said, he met one northwest near the ogre village underneath
A secret cave.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure what her deal was, though. She didn't want to be found by her people. Not sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did mention that.
She like thinks for a second and she says,
I probably don't know anyone, at least the ones that are still here. Well,
Hmm.
highly doubt it, at least.
Does your species live for 1,000 years?
Some of us possibly can, yes, depending on our power.
Do you
No,
think
might be
they'd be
lucky.
friendly to one of their own kind?
I would hope so. When you say, where did you meet her again, Lekka?
North side of the island, in a secret cave in the coast.
Was there a pool there?
Yes.
Did she show
You
it?
wouldn't let me touch it.
Okay, I know why. Have you found any other pools in the island?
We found
Several.
a mithril pool.
Any pools full of water?
We found that one. Was it Aldrin who swam in it? That went on for seemingly forever.
No, that was me.
It was you.
the-
Okay.
Yeah. That was the very deep spring hole, I guess.
she nods, and then pointing to you, she says,
Interesting. Okay, well, understandably, they wouldn't show it to you. Those were a way for my people to get around quickly. They're all connected.
Oh.
Not surprised.
There's, what, 4 or 5, I think?
Oh, we haven't found the
Yes.
others then.
Oh, no, you would probably die. You know, you
I mean,
can't...
I swam down for like, what, a half an hour?
Oh,
Yeah, about.
are you still wearing the bracelet? Or did you give it to Sarabi?
I think I gave it back, yeah.
Yeah, he probably gave it back.
Okay, she points at you, Sarabi, and says,
Oh, that's one of ours. We would give those to people in, well, those that we liked, we would ferry them from one place to the other. This island is not massive, but it's large enough to be inconvenient. We would use those to get around very quickly, and we'd give those to people that couldn't breathe underwater.
Is it the stingray
Makes
bracelet?
sense.
she nods, yeah.
Ooh.
We got this one from a small water elemental that kept trying to purify our waters.
She giggles at that and says,
I could probably make more for you all. I would, of course, need, access to the ocean, but I should be able to.
I mean, the ocean is right next door, yeah? So,
I would hope it didn't move, yeah?
It didn't move.
I mean, we're on an island that moves around. You never know.
True. We could be on land or in the sky. That'd be really weird.
I've heard of that before, actually.
Same. Not sure I've seen it, though. Regardless, I should
No,
be able
I
to...
don't want to see it either.
Not really, no.
Sounds
I
terrible.
prefer, water. But I can very much make, if you have 1, 2 more, it'll take me a little while, but I can probably do it.
Sure.
I'm not sure how else to repay you, honestly.
That works for me.
Perfect.
I mean, if there's anything else you can tell us about the island,
I can try telling you what I can, definitely, but
it definitely changed, yeah.
I'm assuming it's changed in quite some time. If you need help getting across the island, I might be able to talk to my sisters. They might be able to help. If not, I know how to use the tunnels, unless they locked them down in some way. I can bring you through them. There's an enchantment cast on them. As long as one of my people's using them, it's much, much faster than walking. It's much faster than flying, too.
That'd be very helpful, actually.
Just don't tell anyone. It's kind of our secret.
Yeah, sure.
and she smiles at that.
So what now? We gonna
Fine.
continue?
I guess we don't want to stay here. It's kind of true.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Do you are you hungry? Do you need water like ASAP?
She thinks for a second, as if she's like feeling out her body, and kind of goes like,
No, I think I'm fine for now.
Do I know how long they can survive without a source of water?
she'll most likely pop outside and, look for ocean soon-ish, but she'll definitely let you know if something is awry.
All right, because I'm just wondering if we should head for the ocean ASAP or if we can detour like somewhere else on our way there.
Y'all can probably look around if you want, definitely.
I mean, worst case scenario, she can. I can use my bowl of infinite hot water to, keep her wet. I guess.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Y'all have
I'm
water.
not sure she'll like it, but
It's pure water. You do know that much. So
Yeah.
that actually helps. It'll technically be more pure than the ocean water. So that's full of fish pee.
Ew.
It's the truth you must handle, Sarabi.
No.
When you go surfing, keep your mouth closed.
Gross.
I mean, all the water you drink has been inside someone else's body at some point in time.
Indeed.
Yeah, I suppose.
Alrighty, kind of looking about. Where is our next goal?
Outside.
Oh, did we want to double check that if the dryad's still alive, Miss Delphine?
She is kind of looking at the ground and
Honestly, I don't want to go back up there because it's kind of weird.
thinking to herself. She says,
If you said the tree's dead, she probably didn't make it. I wouldn't want to see her in that state if she's still alive.
That's fair.
She's
Let's
not.
leave.
She won't be herself.
That's fair. Out the door we go.
as you guys
I mean,
sort of
that
head ac-
floor, nothing got crystallized, right?
correct. As you head across this little bridge, right in the center where all the arrows are, pointing in, intercardinal and cardinal directions, the hologram appears again and says,
Hello, you requested assistance.
You're a little late.
they look down to you. Sarabi, Delphina's kind of behind you guys. Delphina gives the figure a wave. The figure waves back and nods and says,
How may I assist you?
We would like to check out, please.
Also, your servers upstairs were a bit rude.
Very rude. Not a bit. Very rude.
Oh, do tell.
They didn't like me and said I should be kicked out. They called me ugly.
That is quite concerning. I do not believe they thought you were ugly, though, Sarabi.
No, they definitely implied I was ugly.
the hologram is thinking for
They were just jealous of you.
a moment and points to Lekka.
Precisely. You are too beautiful.
Well, they were going to get violent with me and I did not appreciate it.
Things have gone somewhat awry since our golden era. I would highly recommend those that are beautiful or non-elven to avoid the third floor.
I'm
No,
glad I'm ugly.
No.
Not ugly, just not
And she looks to Sarabi and points to her.
fat.
I will take that as a compliment.
I mean, I could be. Honestly, if a kobold sounded, I'm pretty hot. Well, not that any of you would understand that.
Are you satisfied with your exploration?
Yes.
Did all
found
floors cater to you?
Not sure. I don't. How many floors does this tower have?
Define floors. Rooms?
Levels.
Thinking.
Squints.
There are 6 total levels to the Lapis Observatory.
We only
I've
saw
seen
4,
five.
right?
5, I think.
Okay, we can only access 4.
Let's see. There's this one. There's the one above this.
Correct. There are
Then,
3 primarily available. There is 1 higher than that. And of course, there are 2 more.
How did we get to those floors?
That is a wonderful question. Why do you ask?
We'd like to visit
Curiosity.
them.
Excellent. To reach the highest floor, of course, you need the password.
hopefully, you can meet Delphina.
She shrugs. She has no idea.
I think it might be, I don't know, around somewhere.
One of the singing golems most likely has the password attached to it. Have you tried asking them?
Where were they?
They're kind of scattered in general throughout here, but there aren't that many. A lot of them are broken. One of the
Like,
obviously,
the one to the west. Of
yeah.
us.
There's one west. It's not entirely dilapidated. It's just trying to clean. It's best to clean.
Sure, we'll try asking it.
Wonderful. There are many others in the other floor. If you like to try asking them, they might be out of commission though, so be careful.
Be careful of out of commission.
Be careful of intruders.
Gotcha.
She smiles.
What about the sixth floor?
They would be located in the 6th floor, which would theoretically, technically, be the basement. One below us.
And how do we get there?
They're just staring out into space, thinking. Slowly, kind of nods and says,
Have you tried exploring space? It is more vast than you realize.
Are you comparing the basement to space?
Oh, I think she means the hallway.
I'm
up there.
confused.
Space is quite beautiful.
You
There are-
remember when we entered this place? There was like a small area where you were like standing in literal space.
Oh, as in we can maybe go left or right in it?
Potentially, yeah.
as you approach this singing golem, it is not out of order, but has no interest in reacting or talking to you. It like vaguely turns to you, then goes back to cleaning.
I whisper to it, hey, do you know the password?
You hear like a low like hum, and that's it.
I hum back at it.
It hums exactly the same way back.
Hmm.
Oh, one more question for the receptionist.
They nod.
The floor above this one, the dining room had like a space decoration on the ceiling. How is that produced?
That is a wonderful question. One I unfortunately do not have the answers to. The architects would have handled that. I am merely a guide.
I assume the architects are all dead.
This is an unfortunate fact.
Damn it.
Yeah,
I really
possibly.
want to steal whatever like mechanism does it, just so I can bring it home and give it to Kiara.
Also looking at that one golem, Lekka, it had a chime like in its throat. It looked like it was made of an opalescent stone that had various scenes of war and death engraved into it. And there were like small mirrored discs floating around it.
That's a weird thing for a Tower of Pleasure.
Yes. Since this one didn't seem to react all that much, want to check out the rest? Maybe. they
Yeah,
will,
we
so-
can.
Or worst case scenario, they try to murder us.
I will have my fireball ready. Are there any more on this floor, or do I go up?
There are some, but you guys have poked them and they didn't seem very responsive.
We go to space.
Oh, you want to go down?
All right,
Yeah,
Delphina
yes.
will wait at the entrance. So as you guys pass through, there was
Probably
indeed
for the best, honestly.
yeah, she'll kind of just chill here and she'll let you guys know like I'm just gonna hang back and stay away from the uses because actually this whole place kind of sucks. I'm just gonna wait here. Sit in the middle and talk to the guide. Maybe try to get some answers out of her. And as you guys walk on in, you see Lekka disappear into space. Sarabi, Aldrin, go ahead and does the same. And as you guys
turn right.
Yeah, as you guys enter, you are enveloped in space once again. You can hear just like a dull humming. And as you begin to like walk and walk and walk, it feels as if you're going nowhere, but you can see Aldrin and you can see Lekka, Sarabi. Suddenly, you no longer see Lekka or Aldrin. They walked away from you.
Did I see in which direction?
They walked to your right. And as you continue to walk, you look behind you and there's like a shimmer in some way. But you are indeed able to walk around here. And you guys can almost walk infinitely. You go a little too far, though, and there is indeed a wall. It looks like it keeps going, but you can physically feel a wall. As you begin to feel around, you kind of move over to the north, and suddenly you're out of the space field and standing in a hallway. And around this hallway are a set of stairs that descend.
Interesting way to get to a basement.
Good way to conceal it.
Indeed. And with that, we'll now head to the basement. All right, it is definitely musty down here. It is completely pitch black. How will you guys be lighting?
I love the dinosaur bone.
I love the dinosaur bones as well. They're very cute. How will you be lighting your way?
I'll cast light on Eldrin's sword again.
Oh, wait, no. Aldrin has that light, doesn't he?
On the ring, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot. He has infinite light, so he'll go ahead and just pull that ring out. All right, ahead of you are double doors. They are engraved panels, 20 feet by 20 feet, white stone, highly detailed. The left panel seems broken and passable.
Did you just say engraved?
Yes, at one point. Unfortunately, one of them, the left one, is completely broken.
I will start doodling the other one.
Okay. The other one it's a continuation of the first that is unfortunately no longer with us. Stars, constellations, Sapopa flower, designs and whatnot. So it's not a literal Sapopa flower. They're very artistic representations that are integrated with the stars and constellations. Tons of rubble everywhere. Whole bunch of orange crystal, like sheets thick of it, covering this door. You have to climb over it, covering rubble. It is definitely a mess. And up ahead, you guys can see that there is indeed a warehouse. As you're
Warehouses means wares.
Indeed, there are wares. Lucky you see Sarabi doodling. What do you do?
I'm gonna take a quick peek around.
All right.
Like, how high up are these scaffolds? I guess they are.
So looking on in, you can see that there were some. So all this shattered rock here are various shelves that have fallen and just completely exploded. We're at about a 20-foot or so ceiling. There's a giant, dark shelving structure. 7 that are at stone and metal. They are 20 feet high, so they almost go to the ceiling. They have 4 tiers in them. There's trunks that are made of wood, metal. A lot of them are broken, fallen. There's various like goblets. There's some, it looks to be probably jewelry. There's like some clothing and whatnot. More drug paraphernalia from up atop. And a lot of it, almost all of it, is just encased in this goo that turned into crystal. All of it's crystal. And you see some webs that are kind of dancing between all of the rubble here.
Well, one can assume that this is where the crystal thingy started, I guess. Looking at the destruction. I'm gonna go to like one of the shelves. Because the thingy did say there were like intruders here, right?
Indeed, yes. Looking across the way, Lekka, you can see some bolt foragers, which are those large birds, kind of just hanging out on the various shelves looking about. They turn to you guys as you walk in, but they don't really jump towards you. They're just watching.
I'm just gonna slowly go to like one of the shelves and try to climb up it.
What's your intent while climbing it? You know, they're not super rickety, but not
to
great.
Get like a better view of what's inside and remain stealthy-ish.
As you're able to do that and kind of climb your way up, you see more of what I mentioned before. Just fortunately, these are not covered in crystal. So some necklaces, really fine clothing, things of that nature. Drugs, lots of drugs, but all of that's just, dead and gone. Lots of drug paraphernalia. Ways to break it down, smoke it, snort it, all the good shit. Fewer webs up in this area.
Anything else that I can like see from here? Or?
I'd say looking about, you can see 1 or 2 singing golems. One of them is stuck under one of the fallen shelves and it's kind of like moving and like wriggling about. You can see maybe some others that are also stuck, but it's really hard to tell. One of them looks like it's encased in the orange sludge that's completely crystallized. And from up here, you see about 2 singing golems that are just stuck, but can be freed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll climb back and go to Sarabi. Well, good news is there's a lot of treasure here and the golems. Bad news is there's also a lot of other things here.
What do you mean by other things?
Birds, and I heard some other things. Some of the golems might be defective in trying to kill us, The usual.
All right. Well, good thing I have some AoE spells.
Yeah, they're sadly spread out a bit, so either we have to get them all together or take them out one by one.
I mean, one by one is technically safer.
You've finished your sketch by this point, so Robbie, what's your next play?
I sort of Daniel do a quick fly around the edge.
Okay. Does he have some sort of light? I would say he can get reasonably far because of Aldrin. And
I mean, I can just cast light on a piece of rock and have him carry it around.
yeah, is it a spell slot or is that free?
It's a cantrip, I believe.
Oh, okay. How long does it last?
An hour.
Real nice and easy then. Daniel flies about. He lets you know that there are 2 snakes in the aisle to the left of us. There are some slimes running about. When I say running, I mean very, very, very slowly moving about. There's one slime to the west, and there's 2 to the east. He sees various spiders that are crawling throughout the rocks, and of course the bolt foragers, but he should not get close to them because they'll probably take him out.
If anything, he'll stay close to like the walls and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's intentionally staying away from them because they will 100% kill him. He looks like food.
But he
I
doesn't have
want
any
to
meat now.
use Spirit Guardians, but I'm out of spell 3 slots. So
Do you still have your Pearl of Power?
Yeah, I
Drop
must.
it
I
out.
don't think I've used it yet.
If you're gonna use the pearl, go for it.
All right, yeah, I'll go ahead and use the pearl.
All right, so looking up ahead, what are y'all doing?
Dying, apparently.
Dying, apparently.
All my friends are immune.
A bunch of little foxes begin to jump and
Oh,
dance around
Or-
Sarabi.
Do you want to start left or right?
The snakes are to the left, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Probably die quickly, I would hope. I
Actually-
got it. 6 to me. Amazing.
It does, yes. It's on your token.
I mean, if Aldrin leads the way, I'll just follow quickly behind him.
You should be leading the way anyway.
Question to you, Sarabi. Would you have short rested prior to this? You guys have been sitting around quite a bit. And you have 5 of your hit die, and you're kind of low on HP.
I feel like we would have while he was detecting all those magical items
Yeah,
when I
that
was
makes-
watching the slime.
That makes sense, yeah. But if you want to do that real quick before we start running around, because the second you hit something, we enter combat. Alrighty. The rest has been taken care of. With this range, Sarabi, you know that your little foxies jump around about 15 feet away from you. So Aldrin will stand next to you, but where do you want to go first?
Great. Left.
Left and into the shelfway.
Alrighty, he will technically lead, which, surprise, surprise, will instantly piss off both of these snakes as you're instantly trying to kill one of them.
He can also lead with his shadow.
And I'll
Indeed.
stand here.
Go ahead and roll me some initiative, please, and thank you. I'll roll for the snakes first.
Damn, that's some bad rolls with advantage.
My initiative was a nat 1.
Indeed, but you precast this in the last 10 minutes, so you're basically set, and your move goes off.
My things last 15.
It also goes off at the beginning of their turn.
So they take damage right now.
The close one will, when it comes to his turn, yes. The far one, well, he's just really confused. Is the snake smart enough to know what that spell is? I'm going to go with a no. He doesn't know any better. I believe it's also the first time entering the area, and it's a wisdom save.
Yes.
All right, well, he's going to go ahead and run it in because he's too stupid to know otherwise. If that is a fail. Is it 3d8 damage?
Yes.
Roll it up. All righty. As
Also,
you...
it's radiant. I don't know if that matters.
It doesn't, but it beats the
Unless they are demon snakes. No.
absolute shit out of him. As he jumps in, some of your foxes get onto him, and well, he's already in. He might as well keep going. He only sees your boy, so fangs bared. He will indeed attack, missing horribly, and then it is Credaniel's turn.
Daniel does what he does best and helps. Squawk.
All right, he squawks.
Yes.
All right, Aldrin will do what Aldrin do,
The other one is always dead anyway, so.
and he'll walk around this boy here. Mace ready.
Bonk.
Give it a bonk. Bonk, single kill, as one does.
Wait, are you telling me the other snake has 1 HP left?
Maybe. It's too dumb to know what it's doing. So it's hissing and freaking out and kind of doing his thing. Lekka, you see your friend jump over one snake as it attempted to bite him. It looks like it's on its absolute last legs, if it had any. He kills one of the snakes, and now it is your turn.
Just gonna, I don't know, ray of frosted, I guess.
All right.
Something to set the mood.
Hissing and angry and sad and just not having a good time at all, and you blast it with frost, removing it.
It's like a stiff, snake skull.
Indeed. He turns
Are
into...
these cold-blooded snakes, actually?
well, I mean, it's pretty cold down here, so he's colder now and having an absolute shit of a
Snakes are
time.
Cold-blooded, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so, should be extra weak to it. That's definitely how it works now.
definitely how that works, yes. We now have a snake sickle and a smashed snake. Sarabi, your little foxes are dancing around you. Looking down this hallway, you see no more snakes, but we do know there's lots of web and spidery things to stage right, to the east.
Directly east? All right, we'll go that way then.
Yeah, Aldrin, take those with you. We can eat those later.
Is there any spiders down?
I think to the left was only...
All the spiders are in this area here. You don't know where they are exactly, so basically you need to move to an area, Sarabi, so let me put you back in your spot. You can move 30 feet from there, and you just have to pick a spot, and at the start of their turn, they'll roll to defend.
Works for me.
Should only be a slime elf to the left, so going right from here.
All right, is that your chosen position?
Yes.
Alrighty, time to roll for all the other boys.
And now you aggro like 15 spiders.
All right, they actually rolled quite well, I will say. Fortunately for you, it affects them at the start of their turn, not when you walk into them, which is absolutely great.
Do I see anything besides these two lizard things? Oh, they're rock things.
You see two singing golems
Make
that are
sure-
stuck under stone.
Make sure not to destroy those, by the way.
You see lots of web. Yeah, they are stuck under stone, kind of just kicking. Lots of web. This whole area here in the middle is all rough terrain.
Okay. My spiritual weapon won't randomly attack people, right?
No. You can ready an action.
All right, I'll do that.
So you're going to cast a spell.
Yeah, I'll do produce flame.
So fortunately for you, you can be picky on this. Let's see. Seeing where we are. Alrighty, first and foremost, one of the spiders is going to reveal itself, Sarabi, and you are very familiar with this. It's going to aim its big old booty at you and fire off some web.
Oh, I should have ready the dodge action, I see.
Apparently not. I rolled an 8 and completely miss as you've dodged. You've seen this a couple times. You know how this bullshit works. And you're able to completely avoid it. The spider is going to climb up here and kind of chill on the wall as it's waiting. And then this one...
Hey. It's starting its turn here.
No, it's not. This one is, though. And this one here is going to go ahead and do a wisdom save.
Oh, there's 3 of them. I only see 2.
Correct. Like I said, you hit one, you aggro everything. Alrighty, 19 damage. This spider is just going to explode as your foxes jump on it and absolutely tear it apart. As you cackle like an absolute psycho, another one of the spiders kind of hops up onto one of the fallen shelves. And looking towards you, Sarabi, it again, just like its friendly boys, going to try to shoot some web at you. And again, a miss, a 6. Having missed, this boy's going to kind of hunker down here and just chill. All right, it's now Daniel's turn.
Quonks around the corner. Assesses the situation.
There are some lads.
And goes for the furthest one. Exit it wildly.
All right, makes wonderful bird noises. Aldrin's in a really not great position. I'm going to have him just kind of follow where y'all are.
I mean, you can summon his thing up to 30 feet away, right?
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, guys, did I mention that spider thread, if they get it on you and then they run around you real fast, you get transported to another planar realm?
Yeah, that's how all spiders work.
What?
You didn't know.
Alrighty. Shadow summoned from across the way as Aldrin summons his bud, slaps the spider across the face, and it's your turn, Lekka.
Step around the corner. That's a lot of spiders. Take aim at the one that Daniel has finagled.
Unfortunately, it has indeed revealed itself for range attacks like a damn fool.
You fool! I'm just gonna shoot it with the spell that I can't find. This one.
Excellent. Alrighty.
When can I use my ready to attack?
Whenever one reveals itself. So realistically, you could have used it on the one to the south that webbed you. So go ahead and cast that on this guy right here. Before he webbed you, you would have done it. Excellent. Alrighty, Lekka, roll me 1d4 as well to add to that 9.
All right, that's a cantrip.
So 9 plus 1, 10 damage. All right, you send a bolt of lightning across the way. You shock this lad as Daniel's like squawking at it. The spider just explodes on one of the shelves.
Ah, yes, this cape is very useful. I cast a cantrip, which means I can still do a leveled spell if I use my, the sorcery points that I have as a sorcerer.
Indeed.
Because I am, in fact, a sorcerer. I'm just gonna cast, what is it called again? The magic missiles. I'll fire 2 of them at the spider to the bottom right, and the other one is gonna fly all the way to the bird to the south.
You're gonna hit the bolt forager? So they're not currently looking at you guys. They're watching, but they're not attacking. They're not affiliated with the spiders. But currently they are paying you guys no mind. They're just watching.
I'll squint at them loudly and fire it at the other spider inside Sarabi's range instead.
Okay.
That's 4 to the one to the right and 4 to the one to the left. That's perfect.
And that is more than enough to kill both of them. Double kill. Alrighty.
Actually, it's a triple kill.
Triple kill? Oh yeah. Technically, yeah. You're right. That is a triple kill. Wow. Kill streak.
Pentakill.
I used for that which one is it? Quicken spell, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. And looking around Sarabi, you don't see any more of the spiders shifting about. If there are some more, they're most likely hiding somewhere. You kind of keep shifting, and you realize, you be careful not to get close to the singing golems, that there might be some more spiders here, but they're probably hiding elsewhere in the room, or all gone. As we currently stand, there are no more spiders here to bother you. They're seemingly all gone.
If I'm not going to shoot anything, I can move 60, right?
Correct. Now, I will say, since all the spiders are basically dead and so are the snakes, what is your intention now?
I just want to travel around the room and let my little foxies eat.
You're just going to kind of like scoot everywhere?
Yeah.
Alrighty. I can technically break us out of combat because there are very few enemies left. So realistically, you're free to move as long as you don't move near the birds. And I'll let you know if you get too close. What are you intending to hit, though? More spiders, specifically?
Spiders, snakes, whatever's hiding around corners.
You look around corners and you see some of the slimes. They seem as if they were attracted by the noise you all were making. They're very slowly moving. Do you approach it?
Nope.
Okay.
Dash.
Flash, flash, 100-yard dash. And moving around here, Sarabi, you're pretty much only going to find more of these slime boys. And there is something else you will find, but it's shoved back in a different room. So you're not going to find it in this main area. The two golems are seemingly still stuck and kind of just moving in place.
These damn slimes.
You're big and strong, right?
Right, he moves in and begins to try to rescue one, kind of apprehensive a little bit just to see, like, is it going to attack me? Is it going to do anything? And nope, no issue. First try, not so great. Maybe kind of shifts the rock a bit and it kind of hits the golem in a way that wasn't too pretty. It's like, ah, shit, sorry. And then kind of tries again. This time is indeed able to move some of the rocks off the golem, and it doesn't thank or do anything, but you can see on its chest there is an inscription. And this one here looks like its chime is broken. It was once made of terracotta, though, something similar to like a terracotta. And it's shaped like a wang jangler.
Shaped like a wang jangler.
Indeed.
Interesting golems.
Do you mean a wang jangler that Robbie would be interested in, or a wang jangler for like from that cooking show?
A penis. It's got a goofy little clay penis necklace, basically. That would have once made beautiful music, but is currently broken.
It's a penis-shaped whistle.
Yes.
Unfortunate. So, Aldrin, would you like enhance ability?
I kind of used to look like I'm good. I can do it on my own. And then moving on over this one, the singing golem kind of gets up and starts like walking around and looking at things, and he is able to free this one as well. There's an opalescent stone kind of floating in this one, and there's like little animal constellations sort of dancing around it. The constellations and the art of this like opalescent stone are almost like 3D, like they're projected out. And they're like folding in and out of themselves. It's really, 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 really trippy to look at. Definitely something to behold. But this one here seems also somewhat broken in some way. Like it's trying to do something and it's thinking, but it's very much out of it. Unfortunately, they've been here for quite some time.
Well, let's quickly loot this place and move to the other rooms, I guess.
All right, where do we look first?
I'm just quickly like going across the shelves to see if there's anything valuable there.
There's plenty of valuable stuff here. We'll count it later. There's quite a bit though.
And then we shall go to the other rooms.
Just a lot of stuff. Are you turning your foxes off, Strawberry, or are you keeping them on?
Might as well keep them on for now.
Yeah, unless they're going to get in the way of the golems, I want to leave them on until they run out.
All right, there are 2 doors to the south. One leads west room, one leads to an east room. Opening this room here, you're greeted with a very musty smell as you swing the door open. And looking about as you creak open this heavy oak door that has a golden sapopa flower kind of detailed into it, you see 4 beds. They're made of lace and velvet, and there's like some curtains around them as well. There is some crystal that is like shattered up against them that is just completely exploded. There are 6 chairs. They have winged backs, also velvet. Most of them are fallen, ruined, completely destroyed. There was what looks to be like a fireplace in the bottom corner. You see various shelves. There's a bunch of books and such for reading. Most of them are still intact, covered in crystal and things of that variety. You see drug paraphernalia, a kitchen, and things like that. This looks maybe like a servant's quarters. Kind of interesting. In the corner, kind of pushed up against the fireplace, though, you see like the outlines of a body.
A body has been discovered.
Ding, ding, ding.
What kind of body is this? Is it like human body or is it golem?
It's definitely humanoid. It is very difficult to tell, though. Do you want Aldrin to lead looking at it, or Sarabi?
I'll do it.
Fine.
I have a medical background, remember?
Indeed.
Robbie is the death thingy here.
You have Death Cloud, indeed. Aldrin will move with you to help produce more light, because I'm pretty sure your spirit guardians have some light in them.
Okie dokes.
And as you move in, I do adore this art. It's a shame I can't just throw it directly into a Foundry, but I'll go ahead and throw this bad boy into Discord there for you. This is, to put it plainly, Sarabi, this body is long, dead. It has deep sunken eyes that are like a dark, dark, dark purple. Its hair is wispy, pathetically attempting to hold on to its skin that is pulled far too tightly to its body. All of its skin is both hanging and pulled too tightly in various areas, almost like it's too heavy for said body. And as you take a step closer, you see it shake a little.
Does this look like a typical undead?
No, this is very much not undead.
Do I know what it is?
You do not know.
And I haven't heard of anything like it?
Roll me history. +0, +0, +0. I'm not sure what the third +0 is for. Looking and kind of giving it a thought. So it's definitely not undead. Upon closer inspection, Sarabi, you can tell that this thing is 100% dead and not reanimated. It is just dead. You can tell by the color of its skin, by the way said skin is hanging on its bones, looking at its nails, its lips have been long just peeled away. The teeth are still indeed stuck into its gums, but everything is just dry.
Do I have any idea what killed it?
That you cannot tell. Now, I will say this, it isn't just a body decaying. Upon closer inspection, once again, the corpse shudders and you can see its neck bulge as if it cartoonishly swallowed an 8-ball, and the bulge moves away. But the bulge moved up, not down.
I back
There's
away.
something inside it.
Definitely something inside it.
Taking a
I'm
moment.
gonna back away and use my mage hand to open his mouth.
Okay. As you all take a step back.
Eldrin, also take a step back, please.
Indeed, as you all take a step back, you produce your hand, and its jaw is firmly shut. It takes a little bit of fang dangling. You're not really able to exert enough strength, but you hear a chittering, and the jaw kind of clicks loose and drops open. And when it does, hundreds of tiny spinners begin to pour out of its mouth and crawl towards your group.
Spinners?
Little astral spinners begin pouring out of this thing's mouth.
Oh, you mean the spiders?
Yep, and they all begin running towards you.
Fireball!
In a
Fortunately,
confined space? You sure about that?
fortunately, you don't need to cast Fireball because they're willfully entering your spirit guardians.
Oh, thank God.
And every single one of them is tackled by one of your little spirit foxes and torn to shreds. After a while, they realize their folly and begin climbing up the sides of the walls. But you got about 80% of them because you're so close to the corpse.
I will chase the ones that are starting to run away.
Aldrin runs back and closes the door, so they can't get out. And as he does that, your little foxes begin to just
Actually,
jump in. Yep.
Tell Eldrin to grab his, the monocle we had to
Mhm.
find spiders and bugs and stuff like that.
Yes.
Well, we have
yeah.
light. Check out if there's any around.
All right. He looks around and he sees that there are very few kind of scurrying around in the beds, and these are tiny. So the ones you guys have been fighting are small dogs. These are this they can fit in the palm of your hand. They're the size of the palm of your hand. These are really small. At
Bring
least
my
compared.
foxes to the beds.
So he's kind of directing you guys where to go. He has the light in his ring. And it does take a second. It's way less efficient than what you're doing, but he's able to pop a couple of them because they're so small with the bug zapper, basically. And he's just poof, 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 and with the door closed, they can't escape. After 2 to 3 minutes of you guys running around and smashing these baby spiders, the corpse kind of shudders again and lies still.
I would like to set the corpse on fire.
Put it in the fireplace first, please.
It is in the fireplace, actually.
Good, perfect. Wait, where does the fireplace lead?
Great question. You're not sure if it's functioning.
Doesn't matter.
Hey, we might want to, go up there, see where it goes. Maybe it goes to the 6th floor. Or the 5th floor, I guess.
Maybe, but we didn't see any fireplaces in other floors.
Exactly. Maybe it's a portal.
Oh, wow.
Quickly
Wow.
burning the corpse, it doesn't respond or react to you guys attacking it and falls to pieces. You can see various bits of what were probably at once eggs, purple and glowing within its gut, its hollowed out chest cavity.
Gee, it sure is a good thing that none of us got captured by those spiders, right?
I threw a wonderful picture of what they technically look like in chat for you guys.
Nice. That could have
Thank
been
you,
good.
God. I would rather commit suicide than do that.
You found a host. Congratulations.
Either way, you were gonna die.
As long as I'm not awake.
After you guys accomplish all this, the door pops back open. Daniel flies over and he kind of like flaps to you, letting you know that he found some cool shit in the other room.
Bullshit, you say?
Indeed. Bird nod.
No cool shit in this room, right? Just a dumb body.
You actually did find... I said there are a lot of books. If you want to look at those, you're more than welcome to. And you also found a necklace.
They're in Elvish, right?
They're in Elvish and Dwarvish.
Ugh.
Some are in common, but as you flip through them, they don't really have too interesting information to tell you.
Then no thanks.
All right.
It's kind of sick and tired of this Elvish language.
I'm sick of these elves. All right, yes, Daniel leads you on over to a room off over to the side. A room that is completely full of singing golems.
Wait, where's that? Elvin give me that orb of spell storing thing. The crystal he took from the Mythropals. He should have those on his inventory somewhere.
Oh, the glowing red crystals?
If I remember right, those things are able to store spells, is what you said. Then I'm gonna grab Sarabi's shame cube, and I'm gonna cast comprehend language into the crystal.
Okay.
Actually, how many spells can it store? Just one?
Just one is really iffy. If it's not refined, it's not something you want to store long term.
No, I'm just gonna use the cube once and then give the orb to Sarabi, so now she can use a one-time use comprehend language.
Nice. All right, so that is 2 uses on the cubic focus of shame.
And I give it back to Sarabi.
How do you feel when you hand it back?
He is reminiscing about his past.
Yeah.
So no, not good.
Aww.
All right, well, Sarabi, you know that if you grip this crystal, you should be able to comprehend languages. I don't know if you want to do that first, but there is, I can quickly describe.
It's only one cast that lasts for an hour, though. So.
Yeah, it does last for an hour. No sludge has made it into this room. It seems to be a storage area specifically for golems. The door was large, steel, heavy. It was carved in a high relief of golems. So, very straightforward. There's approximately 20 or so in here. They're all deactivated and kind of just chilling. And across the way, you do indeed see a singing golem that looks like an elf. He looks male and is carved out of black basalt. An absolutely beautiful body standing across the way from you all. And this one is separate from the rest.
I wonder why he's separate. That's kind of weird.
Does it look active? Or are literally all of them inactive?
All the ones on the right seem to be inactive. This one here pauses for a moment as you all enter the room. You don't have comprehend languages going right now, Lekka, right?
No.
Okay. It just begins to go off in multiple languages, starting with Elvish, and you hear just like gobbledygook, and it pauses.
Elvin would be able to understand that, right?
Indeed, yeah, he'd hear that and kind of look around the corner, and then it pauses, and then it says it in Dwarvish, and then it pauses, and then it says it in another language that none of you recognize, then it pauses, and it says in Common, "Hello, who are you?"
You said this was a man golem, right?
This is a male elf, correct? It is looking it's looking towards your group.
Okay.
Introduce myself, Lekka. Hello. How you doing?
It's ready to say hello again until you introduce yourself, Lekka. Then it kind of clicks, slowly turns to look at you, walks over to you very quickly, and extends a hand and says,
I shake it.
Excellent. He shakes your hand, and then he gives you a bow and says, "Hello, Lekka, the beautiful, the wonderful, the most exquisite. What can I do for you today?"
I'll turn around to Sarabi and go like, see, this is how you introduce yourself.
Oh, shut up, you.
Are those your servants?
I am no one's servant.
They are quite drab compared to you, my lord.
Oh my
True,
god.
true.
You racist.
I am sorry, servant number 1. This has nothing to do with your race, but... And he motions to Lekka. His blinding brilliance is impossible to ignore. Wouldn't you agree?
Nodding.
I switch my tails angrily.
See, finally a construct with a sense of beauty.
What can I do for you, my king?
I was looking for a password.
Indeed, a password to what?
The 5th floor.
He looks over your group, looks down to you, Lekka, smiles widely and says, "Of course, allow me to lead the way." And we'll go ahead and pause there.